under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Satarjik.
Here.
Commissioner Avery.
Here.
Commissioner Hendricks.
Here.
Commissioner Lovett.
Here.
Commissioner Melly.
Here.
Commissioner Simpson.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
City Manager Gaylor.
Here.
So we have no communications, so we're moving on to the public comment portion of the meeting. You're welcome to address the City Commission. Please state your name and address and keep your comments to 5 minutes. No one? All right. Moving on. We need to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Support. A motion and support. Any comments, changes? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. We need to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the City Commission minutes for regular meeting July 17th, 2014.
Support. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Moving on to item 8, which is the consent agenda. We have a business license for my sister's closet and a business license for the new owners of the Heather House.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda and place on file.
Motion support. Any discussion, questions, comments? Go ahead.
Oh,
Probably not.
shouldn't be there.
I didn't look at it. I normally.
I did know.
I noticed that earlier, and I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need to pull that off the web.
I'll
But that can't.
Yeah.
These are, technically, these are transfers. These are transfers, yeah. Yeah, one's from one address to another, and then the other one is property ownership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I didn't, like I said, I didn't even look at the packet, so I saw that. I approved that to begin with.
We all set? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Business license are approved. We have no unfinished business, so we're moving on to new business, which is item A. First up is water bill late payment penalty policy discussion.
There's been some discussion because of some delivery issues that we really can't resolve. We don't know what the issues were that caused bills not to be delivered correctly, okay? So what we did is, we took that section and we went back 36 consecutive months, and we said, is there anybody that has a history of late payments or no late payments within that period? And what you're looking at is, there were penalties applied to accounts in the billing period for May of 2014. 185 properties got penalties, okay? Of that, 147 of them had some kind of history of late payment in the previous 36 months. 38 of them did not have any history of late payments in 36 months. Now, out of the 38, about 10 or 11 of them only had a history of maybe 6 to 12 months, so we couldn't go back any farther than that, okay, because they just didn't have the history. So really, when you look at the 38, 28 potentially probably didn't get a bill delivered to them, okay, is the reasoning behind that. So then I went and said, okay, if there's 185 in the May 2014 billing period, how many were in the previous two? Because if there's a way to flag that and say, woo, I'm 30 or 40 higher than the average, fine. Well, in November, there were 211, and in February, 176. So that number falls in between. It wouldn't have been a flag to us to say, go look at it because there's something different about this one. My recommendation to the board would be is that we could have a policy that we could waive the penalty if we look back in history and they don't have any late payments within the previous 6 months. Now, that's pretty typical to what credit card companies do, okay? They look back over a 36-month penalty and they'll give you a waive, and then they tell you it's not part of their normal policy. But that would be my recommendation. If that doesn't appear to work as we go through this, then we can come back with the board to another one. But the treasurer was comfortable with that, the billing clerk was comfortable with that, And based on what we see here, it appears that that would work fine. So with that, I will open it up to discussion.
Anybody like to start?
I-
Dave?
I like that thought as a starter. My concern is the folks that don't have, that 36-month credit history. I still feel like that's a gap. I don't necessarily know a great way to solve that off the top of my head, but I feel that should probably be addressed somehow.
It's a small number though, so,
But I mean, as far as we're
I'm not
creating
that uncomfortable
a
with it.
policy that would see us into the future, so that,
yeah. It takes a while to build that history, but to be quite frank, it doesn't take them long to build the history, because a lot of times they miss on the first payments. If, like I said, if that becomes a problem, we may have to adjust it, but my recommendation would be that. And then what we would do is we'd go back through these 38 and just credit them whatever the penalty was on the next billing cycle.
It sounds like a great idea. I mean, I think it's giving people that opportunity if there is an error or is a mistake. But if
Right.
they're regular payers on their water bill and are conscientious about that, that leaves room for human.
And since this, we've been through, what, 3 other billing cycles now, because we bill monthly, and we haven't had any issues. So something happened, we don't know what it is. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, any place, but we need a policy that allows us to make some adjustments, because right now, we don't have that policy in place.
Yeah, that was my basic problem. I mean, it's obvious something happened. I mean, my phone was ringing off the hook, your phone was ringing off the hook, the post office phone was ringing off the hook, so obviously there was some type of an issue with delivery of this bill, and a bill that only comes once every 3 months.
That's right.
It's easy to forget about. So when I did call you about it, it was, you said your hands were tied basically because of the policy, and it states right on the bill that, not having the bill is no excuse for payment, but my point is, we have to, provide good customer service, just like a regular private company would. That is basically, we're providing a service just like a company would. And if you've got good customers that pay their bill on time all the time, there should be some way to make allowances for that. So I think we should give the city office the leeway to make an occasional, waive a penalty or something occasionally. So I think it's a good idea.
So, I mean, the motion I'd be looking for is that we would be able to waive the penalty if they have a no late fee history in the previous 36 months. That's 12 billing cycles, okay, is what that ends up being. So if they have no history of late payments in 12 billing cycles of 36 months, we would just automatically waive the penalty. If they do, then it stands, because typically it's not a one-time deal, it's more than that.
So, I don't know, 36 months seems a little bit like long. And, I think if somebody's good for, 2 years, you'd think that, but.
I'm okay with that as well, but, the treasurer and the billing clerk, water billing clerk were comfortable with the 12 billing cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commissioner Miller?
Yeah. In this regards, it seems that apparently it was an error on our part. And in all due respect, whether a person who's been late on their bills in past history, I look at it this way. Did they pay their bill within 2 weeks after they realized that there was a mistake and transferring of the mailing?
It's not 2 weeks, because they didn't even get the notice until after 30 days being delinquent. Because the delinquent notices go out 30 days after the due date.
Oh, okay. I was thinking if there was a grace period where if they got
No.
if they got it, then I understand it, then they should have gotten a 2-week.
Plus the fact that we have no way to know who did or didn't
Who
get them.
didn't.
I know some people who didn't get them and just went and paid, they went and looked online. I know another person that didn't get one, got shut off, that was a $4 penalty, they just paid it, and I asked them if they wanted their money back, they didn't care about $4. But, so it was really hard to tell, how do you know who got it, who didn't get it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you
That's
knew
the
the
issue.
street or.
No,
the
no,
connector.
because
No.
according to the post office, there was no issue with delivery. And according to our office,
We printed them all.
they printed them all and they all went out. So the two parties that were involved in getting the bills out both say nothing was wrong on their end. So who knows what happened?
Right.
Okay. All
So,
right.
so we don't know, you know, we don't know who
So-
got them, who didn't get them, and there's no, even when they looked at these 38 people, there was no like, they weren't all on one area.
No, they weren't.
They
You
were
had 3 or
spread
4
out.
together, then you had a couple over here. They weren't in
Yeah.
a specific area.
So it wasn't like 2 blocks didn't get delivered to
Yeah.
or something. So it's kind of a conundrum. I guess the thing here is if you get good customers that pay on time all the time, we should have some ability to
Adjust
waive a
it.
a
Okay.
penalty.
All right,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
agree.
You have,
Mr. Commissioner Avery?
I would like to make a motion that we accept the proposal put by,
Well, you have to put it into the terms we're looking for. And I personally, I would like to see, you know, 20, like just the 6 billion cycles as opposed to, or the 8 billion cycles as opposed to 12. I mean, that would-
Yeah, I don't know if that works. with
I will tell you
gases.
this, it doesn't change any of these numbers, whether you use 36 or 24, with regards to the 185, 147, or what have you.
I mean, because, you know, we're setting a policy here for the office to follow, and I think if you made the last 8 payments on time, you've got a pretty good payment history.
Well, and that's also 2 years of, you know, if someone did fall on hard times and did have those issues, 2 years is a substantial progress for someone who's fighting their way out of debt or something like that. That's, you know, it may only be so many, you know, billing cycles on a water bill, but 2 years is a long length of time for someone who's has to fight the
Yeah,
fight.
I think so.
We're okay, our office is okay with either one. I was trying to be a little
Sure.
more liberal with it.
All right,
okay?
I make
But
the
it does
motion.
not change any
Right.
of these numbers
Right.
because,
Yeah,
So that's another reason why
Yeah.
it's no problem.
I make the motion that we waive the late fee
That we give the city administration the ability to
to
waive.
waive it in 24 months if there has been
no late
no
payment.
late fees during that period.
And we'll dress up the policy. We know what the
Second.
intent is.
All right, so we've got a motion, and we've got support. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Now, and just so you know, the process will be though, if they come in, we'll waive it. If they've already paid it, it'll just get credited at the next billing cycle. okay?
Well, and that's the comment I got from a lot of people. I said, well, come, you know, to the commission, and they're like, well, it was only $20. Well, it was only $10. And I'm not gonna go there for that, but that was the principle, you know,
Right.
that they were
And
calling
it,
for.
and it's not a big effort for us to do.
No,
the
and I
credit back
think it's
form.
really good public policy to give the administration the ability to, you know,
Yep.
waive a penalty to a good paying customer or citizen. All right. Moving on to item 10B, which is professional service IT support renewal for SYO.
This is the IT support contract for the next 39 months. He's got the complete history of changes we've made and added since 2011. This contract would be 2014 through 2017. We've added support for the new Clemens PD service that they're using now for tracking all their records. They moved off of Core Talon to Clemens because all of St. Clair County is moving that direction. We're actually the first department to move. But we'll be in line with Oakland, Wayne, Macomb, and Washtenaw will all be on the Clemens system. So we'll have access to all that information with regards to anybody that they go look up, okay? The net increase rate is, goes from $14.50 to $15.50, and that's primarily driven by the one system. However, once the website is up and running, we'll probably gain most of that back because right now we give them a $125 fee just to keep things moving, and most of that will go away here shortly. So it should net out almost zero,
right,
is what we're gonna net.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I had. Is that 125 in addition, or you're saying it's gonna be subtracted?
That's gonna be subtracted, yeah.
Do we have any questions?
I make a motion to approve the professional service IT support through SYO.
Support.
A motion of support. Any discussion?
I mean, the only thing I'll add is, everybody at the city is very happy with the level of service we get. We've had minimal downtime, with the servers and everything else, so.
Right. I mean, I was a little surprised at the price myself. I mean, how much do they actually do in a month's time for you?
Well, they support everything. Most of the time, they don't come out. They can support all of the calls basically from remote locations, so that helps quite a bit. And then, no matter how many hours it takes, there's unlimited hours, unlimited email addresses that we have, and change quite a bit of those are all part of this contract, so. It's not bad for the number of facilities we're supporting, because it's the water plant, the wastewater plant, DPW, the Guy Center, even the museum now, so that's all included in this
Now,
support.
the paragraph 21 that's struck out in here had to do with, that this had to be confidential, this agreement. That's been struck out.
That's been struck out, yeah.
I take it there should probably be some initials there and stuff
Yeah,
on the sign.
Yeah, when we sign it, yeah.
Anyone else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, board.
It carries. We have a board appointment for the planning commission. Mr. Keith Jenkins lives on South Water Street. He's applying for this open seat.
Make a motion to appoint Keith Junkin to the planning board.
Support.
The motion and multiple support. Any discussion, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Welcome to the planning commission, Mr. Jenkins. Now we've got we got a board appointment for SEMCOG. We need a alternate,
Alternate, yeah.
just in case Commissioner Lovett can't make it to a meeting.
Or would like to go along.
So do we
I make a
have,
motion to appoint, can I do that? Am I supposed to?
you can go ahead, make a motion.
Okay, I make
Whether
a
that person wants to
motion,
do it or not is another thing.
Commissioner Simpson as alternate representative.
Strongly support that.
So we have motion
As long
support.
as your name's not in it, right, Jim?
Commissioner Simpson, would you be amenable to that?
I would graciously accept.
Okay, so we've got a live one.
He's even breathing, that's even
Yeah.
better.
It's better than call me sucker, I guess. That's a classy way of saying it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So you are official alternate to the SEMCOG.
I will let them know.
Moving on to 10E, which is a purchase of a tractor, which I believe we approved in the budget.
That is correct. It was budgeted through 3 different sources, but it was budgeted at, we estimated the cost at around $45K. The actual bid for the base tractor, we had 3 quotes, came in at $39,500, $36,799. I asked the DPW director if he needed anything else, because we came in under the budget a little bit, and he said, well, we really kind of need an auger for post holes and what have you. So I said, we'll go to the low bidder, see what that costs, because that's what we would approve. And I believe that came in at $22.71 something. So we're looking at approving both the purchase of the tractor as well as the auger attachment with the 3 augers as part of the motion, okay, to the low bidder.
I'll make a motion to approve the tractor with the augers for a total of $41,808.16.
Support?
We have motion and support. Any questions?
I
Commissioner
just
Lovett?
want to commend Mike for the due diligence that he did in getting these bids and finding low bids and looking at, the 3 companies and bringing it to us in such a professional manner.
And believe me, it's hard to find 3 in this area, because one of them, ASI, owns just about everything out here.
I guess just for the general information for the public, what's the primary use of this tractor?
This is the one that we use on bridges, some of the sidewalks, the beaches, volleyball court, all of the parks, the small 4-wheel drive that we're able to take down and clean the parks with, even in the wintertime, because this one will fit on a 5-foot sidewalk.
And the one that we're replacing is how old?
24 years.
So doesn't owe us anything.
Yeah, we're gonna hang on to it, it's running. As long as it's something minor, we'll keep it running, but like we put money in the transmission, if that goes again or something else, it'll go up for sale at that point. because it just won't be worth dumping any more money into it, so. But we got, yeah, you're right, it doesn't owe us anything, we did well with that.
Anything else? Okay, all in favor, oh, roll call, please.
Commissioner Avery,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Lovett,
Yes.
Commissioner Nally,
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
Yes.
Mayor Scarpelli.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I'm sure DPW thanks us for that one. Item 10F is the actuarial valuation.
I know a couple of you were at the pension meeting and we went through this in great detail. However, I will hit the highlights and then answer any questions. And if you turn to page 1, about the middle of the page, it says liabilities, funded, condition of retirement system, actuarial liabilities, retirement system as of June 30th, 2013, were computed to be $7,053,090. Funding value assets were 5.74 million, and we're at about 81.5% funded as of June 2013. Now, keep in mind, the actuarial runs about a year behind real time, okay? Because we just got this, and this is July of 14. 81.4% is really good for a defined benefit plan right now. Most people are running in the low 60s or below. If you look at where we truly are right now, because of the market conditions, we're pushing closer to probably 87 or 88, and that discussion came out during the pension board meeting. So just to let you know, it'd be nice to be at 100%, but we're not in bad shape right now. And keep in mind that this plan is closed. We can't add any more individuals to the defined benefit plan. The only thing available for new hires now is a defined contribution plan, which is in line with the real world out there. So that's the good news on this. If you go down to the last bullet point, cities computed city contribution, they're actually saying that we only need to put 164,000 in, and I believe we're at 180, 182 in the current budget. We're gonna leave it at that only because we're slightly underfunded anyways. It's not gonna hurt us, and we'll adjust it accordingly based on the actuarial for next year. But you're gonna see this starting to, if the market stays strong and the fact that we've closed it, that contributions should stay steady for a while and then start to fall off. So. Other than that, I'll answer any questions, but those were the two big highlights as far as what it says. We got a good report at the pension board. I think the mayor will agree with that, and Jim, I believe you were there as well, so.
No, our financial advisor was real pleased, and he says we're in real good shape. And I did ask, about, I guess we're getting a little heavy on the equity side of some of our investments. That's not part of this, but
No.
that's a discussion we had, but he said we just leave it, like that for now, what, 51, 52%?
Yeah,
The government lets us go up to
60.
60%. And he says, there shouldn't be anything barring a big disaster, and I think the next day the stock market had its worst day in 2 years or something.
but it then manages to recover.
Yeah, then
somehow.
it came back. So, no, but the whole thing is, we're in pretty good shape as far as all this stuff goes.
And
so.
actually, the way they reported it for this year, we've actually made more money than we've spent in the program, so that's a good thing, so. If there's no other questions, then we just need a motion to receive and file the actuary.
I make a motion to receive and file.
Motion to support. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So filed. And moving on to item 11, which is financial business.
I make a motion to approve disbursements, including payroll, $468,257.28.
Support.
We have motion support. Any questions? No? None? I just had one question. I just wondered, There was something for AC clean and check. I was just wondering what building that was at.
What's that now?
Air conditioning, clean and check.
Oh, that was the second unit at the Guy Center. We had to replace the oldest one, and then we brought them back in because the other one hadn't been serviced since I've been here. So, I just had them do a clean and check on that one after the other one went out, because that's the one that just quit.
So it's just a single unit?
It's just a single unit.
I thought that was a little pricey.
Oh, well. We probably got a good deal on the replacement.
Of course,
so we made it up.
I saw that one. Yeah. I'm thinking, maybe I should send my guys over here. Anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, roll call. I got the first roll call.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Actually, we didn't need it for the first one.
Commissioner Lovett,
Yes.
That's all right.
Commissioner
We
Malley,
needed it.
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
Yes.
Mayor Skatarczyk,
Yes.
Commissioner Avery.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, so on to the city manager's report.
We're gonna be posting for a public meeting next Wednesday. Well, the posting is gonna go up for next Wednesday, but it's for the next board meeting. It's one of the new steps that we just discovered in trying to finish up the grant proposal for the facade, the 3 buildings. I don't anticipate any issues because I will not be here that week. I am on a boat trip that week. However, if it's like anything else that's been with those programs, typically we just don't have anything. So, but I'm just giving you a heads up. It's going to be in the newspaper on Wednesday, I
Yes.
believe. But it's for the next board meeting that we'll have to have a public hearing, open and close. We've done them before. The overnight boat parking ordinance signs have been installed at the South Bridge, where we have some area to park transient boats. In addition to that, we have put in 4 posts just as a test to see how they're gonna hold up for the winter and what have you, okay? If that works, then we may put some additional ones in the spring. There's no overnight parking between 11 PM and 7 or 7:30 AM. I forgot what the sign says. But it's per our ordinance that we approved months ago. We're gonna contact the 3 boats that are there and give them till the end of next week to move them, now that the signs are up and posted, and then we will ticket after that. So I'm just letting the board know. And then I will be on vacation from the 19th through the 23rd, Tuesday through that Friday. And I will not be available. I'm gonna be on a friend of ours' boat traveling around the Great Lakes, which I'm looking forward to. Hope the weather's nice. That's it.
Did you ever look into the no wake signs on the bridge? I asked you about that, about 3-4 weeks ago.
No, I didn't. No
I
waste.
had, I had some of the people live on Main Street there tell me there used to be no wake signs on the old bridge. They didn't get put on the new bridge. And,
More than likely, we put them up, and that's probably why they didn't get put back up, because it's not part of MDOT's requirements, okay?
If I remember seeing it, because I haven't been under that bridge.
And I don't remember seeing them either, but that's,
I know along the river, people had no wake signs.
no,
Because
there's,
you're not supposed to create a wake in the Bell River anyway.
right. And apparently there's people
Yeah, there's.
that are
people
doing
do
that.
it, regardless if you got the sign.
I mean, just check into it for me if you would.
I will check on that.
And what about the sidewalk program? Are we getting anywhere with that?
Yeah, Brian is finishing up the final touches, because I kind of poo-pooed a couple of things, so he went back to the drawing board, so that'll be coming out, so. It'll be out in September, so.
John, how did the Guy Center fare after the water main break? Is there much damage or water damage?
There was about 4 or 5 inches of water in there. We did get it cleaned up through an outside source.
Okay.
We're gonna change the way the sump pump functions, because it kind of was pumping in a circle, okay, based on this particular leak. We're gonna try to get it right out to the river, because I think the sump pump, a good sump pump would have kept up what was leaking through the door.
Right.
It just didn't, okay? Next week, the young lady that waters the flowers is gonna be, after she does that, is coming over to the Guy Center, and each department head is gonna go down, and we're gonna start emptying the lower drawers on some of the cabinets to see what really got damaged and not. We have a lot of stuff down there that's already dried out. We'll clean that up, wipe it down.
Okay.
Right now, my estimate is probably we're gonna have about a $3,500 bill for the between the cleanup and the other things we do. So, and I don't think we're gonna lose much of the records because a lot of the new stuff was on the lower shelf, and we're not even printing them anymore starting this year. So as long as we have it available in the system, we're not gonna reprint the documents. There were some old minute books that got wet though that we're drying right now. We don't know what that's gonna look like. But I'll have a better handle on that starting next week, so.
Anyone else? All right, we're gonna move on to commissioner privilege. Commissioner Melly, would you like to start?
There's the festivals that's coming out this weekend, and it looks like it's gonna be a fantastic weekend. And the garage sales, if I'm not mistaken, it's this weekend as well. So it's gonna be a booming town this weekend, so everybody come out and enjoy. And also, just in regards to passing our DPW, he was deeply to be missed. Dale was a nice guy, and being at the funeral home there, talking to different people, he's gonna be missed. And other than that, my regards to the family, and thank you, and it's gonna be a good weekend to enjoy our town. I hope everybody comes out and sees our town, what it really stands for. Thank you.
Commissioner Turner? Commissioner Lovett?
Certainly. Just remind everyone of Heritage Days also, September 20th and 21st. Set aside some time to come down and enjoy it. Again, a thank you to all the business people in our community. It's wonderful. We've got Dollar Tree is coming in. We have the new Mexican restaurant. And I also want to just note Riverside Cinemas. I lost my cell phone there, turning it off. It ended up being in the seat. But the owner there, Matt, went out of his way to find it for me. And so I just thought I'd give him a mention out that, it's a great place. He's really done a lot to improve out there, and it would be great. Again, it's another business that we need to support in our community to be able to keep that here. So if you get a chance, go on out there. And also, my sister's closet made a great move, and it's looking great. So, support them as well, and all of the businesses in our community. I want to remind people of the stop signs on North Bell River and DeGuercy. My neighbors and I sometimes have fun just standing there watching people who do not stop. They just kind of keep easing on through. Some make no effort to stop. Some make a half-hearted effort. But there are 3 stop signs there, and they need to be observed before someone gets hurt or there's an accident there. It has slowed people down, yes, but stop signs are meant to be stopped in. We have many opportunities to serve in our city, so continue to do so. I know that Mr. Melly and his committee would take all the help they can get this weekend, and Heritage Days, and so many not commission meetings, but other groups that meet certainly can help. It was disheartening to see so few people, not just here in Marine City, but other areas. But 1% of the people make decisions regarding our community, and that's just not right, because if there's something you don't like, we certainly hear about it. But you need to come out and make your voice heard. 1% should not be speaking for all of us. So I hope we think seriously about that at the next opportunity to vote in November. Thank you to the workers who do such a great job for us at the voting here. They're here all day long. And to Chris Baxter for her first time overseeing the process. Things went very well. So we have a great city. Visitors are amazed. I was at a recent SEMCOG meeting with the trail towns, and a couple representatives there said, whoever would have thought that Marine City would be a destination community, and that's what they see us as. You know, it's the place to come to go, and to enjoy. So thank everyone who has helped to make that happen, and let's continue to improve. Thank you.
Commissioner Hendrick? No? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
short and sweet.
Wow. Commissioner Avery?
I would like to commend the police department for being extremely gentle on enforcing regulations that we have in town. However, in line with what Commissioner Lovett said, we see a lot of stop sign situations. Some people over on the other side make virtually no attempt to stop, others sort of do. So this is something that probably has to be watched. There's instances I see of a lot of cases of people parking on sidewalks. Those should be left open, especially for the handicapped wheelchairs to get by. We have vehicles that seem to block alleys. I'm not sure why. But again, in line with that, I'm sure that they're trying to make a good job of not doing things that look like harassment. So this is just a point for the public to watch and try to follow some of the rules so the police don't have to act.
Good point.
Enjoy the weekend coming up. Thank you.
Commissioner Simpson?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Nothing tonight. Well, I think it's all pretty much been said, so I'm not gonna say too much. I would like to just float this out there for everybody to think about. I brought this up a couple years ago about going paperless at these meetings. With the price of tablets now and everything that's happened, every single thing goes online. I'd like everyone to kind of, really, I don't think it would be too hard to do at all. I've tried it a couple times, and really, all you really need is the agenda, because it's kind of hard to follow along on a tablet if you don't have the agenda printed. But if we just had the agenda and some tablets, I think we could eliminate a lot of paper waste. Not that it would, cure our budget problems or anything, but I think it would be
You know what, I'll take a look at it
a
and
good
see
thing to
and
do.
come
I
back
mean,
with
you
some
can
kind-
buy a nice tablet for $80 now.
So that $600 that you found, could that buy tablets?
That could buy a tablet.
There you go, buy us one.
No, I know we've got a couple commissioners, including myself, that have tablets, wouldn't need them. The tablets would just be for people that didn't own one. I think it's something we should really consider. The other thing is, I've been approached by several people to have a town hall meeting. Commissioner Lovett, one of them, and I've had some other people, so, I'll do some more discussions with other people, see if we could put something together, like in a town hall type format this fall. And then we can get
The last two we had one at the middle school in the cafeteria, and then we used Lord Cottrell gym for one that we did. Just so you know where we had them.
Yeah, we had one at the hall on King Road too, originally. That was a long time ago.
I was gonna say that was before me.
Yeah, they've all been pretty productive and good ideas that come from it. I've had a few people suggest we do that. One of the topics that Commissioner Levitt would like to talk about is funding for some of our road repairs. If people in town be willing to fund a special millage for that, or it'd be one of the topics we could talk about. Other topics, a good topic would be what type of businesses should we be romancing, trying to bring into the town, and how we go about that. So keep tuned to that. We'll come up with something this fall. I know it's hard to get people together for something like that in the summertime, but this fall will be better. So with that said, everybody enjoy the weekend. By the time you see this, the week will be over, so. But have fun anyway.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.